checking it out. We are talking about NovaTech today. Now, this is these guys are pretty much, in short, they offer a PAMM service, kind of a hedge fund approach, um, and one of the services is offering to trade, manage your money for you on their end. So these guys have actually been running since June of 2019. That is almost 3 years we are coming up on. So that's pretty crazy, and that gives I mean, that gives me some confidence if they've been doing this for um, almost a few years now. So that's pretty cool. We're going to go into a little bit more of the details, and I just kind of sharing some of the stuff that I've found. I just want to be as transparent as I can be. I am no professional in this, guys, so I'm just looking up what I'm seeing and see if I can tie things together on my end. So these guys do also offer, because they have their own broker on MT5. So if you're a manual trader, you can use their MT5 platform service, and then majority of the people, though, seems that they use their PAM service in managing funds and that passive aspect. So, and that's probably what we will be talking about most of today. They have their own earnings disclaimer, right? So you guys can read through that. Now, the founders here, we have Cynthia Petion, Eddy Petion, and then Ricardo Roy. I've seen these guys quite a bit on YouTube, so they are not they're not hidden. These guys are legit, from what I can tell, at least. And these two are husband and wife, from my understanding. And let's actually okay, we'll do. So what we'll do is we'll talk about this piece here of who they are, and then we'll go into some investigation. All right. So who are they? NovaTech is a subsidiary, or they are a sister company of NovaPay, both some of the industry's top leading professionals worldwide. Okay, so the products and services include ATMs, crypto, debit card transactions, and then crypto and forex trading markets. So their PAM service, actually, they do trade forex and crypto from the stuff that I've seen, which is pretty cool, right? So it's just another instrument instead of just forex. If crypto's doing, because crypto's open 24/7, and if one looks better than the other, vice versa, or together, that part's pretty cool. And this was pretty interesting that they have ATMs, I guess, on the floor, and we'll look at a bit of that as well, some of the licensings and things like that. So these guys are based in Florida, and let's just hop over to some of the things that I found. So first we'll go over Cynthia, because she's the CEO, and I do have her here on LinkedIn. If you type in LinkedIn Cynthia Petion NovaTech, this top one should be her. We can see that is her. She's got 500 plus connections. She's got her nice little spiel here. Her experience, we can see, is a CEO for NovaTech, CEO and founder. We got some other previous stuff here. So honestly, when it comes to the LinkedIn, this actually looks pretty solid. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And like I said, you can find her on YouTube. Like their company, they put out quite a bit of videos and talk about stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a win, and we're gonna talk about pros and cons from what I've seen. But so far, this looks good. In regards to like who's running the show, I like that I can confirm. I like that I see them on YouTube, and I can kind of verify and vet them that way. So let's go to kind of the company stuff that they've been, like their licensing. So they're in Florida, based off of all the things that I have found, and they have a couple different I guess business entities, have kind of how they're signing up under one another. So they mentioned subsidiary, which means it's a sister business of a parent. So we've got two different ones that we're going to look up here, and you have to look them up through the Florida Secretary of State something blah blah blah. But you have to go through the sunbiz.org. So if you search Sunbiz Entity Search, and you click this one here, the search.sunbiz.org, we'll see here that we're in the Florida Department of State. Now, the first parent one, which I believe is the ATM stuff that they've got going on, like the crypto. Oh, that's not going to work. All right, let's try again. There we go. Okay, just had to refresh it. So we can see this NovaPay LLC. So this is them. I believe this is the parent company. So we can see they're in Florida. You guys can check all the stuff out: principal, mailing address, registered agent name. So it's going to go over all of their information. We see we have Cynthia Petion, and then Eddy Petion, and then we got some PDFs, some documents here, which is pretty cool. So you guys can go check all of those out if you want. It just talks about this this licensing. So that's NovaPay, which is pretty cool that we can verify that through Florida, because that's where this is all based. And then the second one, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to go to Sunbiz Entity Search, and this one is going to be, oh gosh, I think it was advisors. I'm going to hit refresh. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Maybe it's NovaTech Advisors. Okay, there it is. So NovaTech Advisors, and this is their hedge funding license, so they can do the PAMM service. So that's what this is for, from what I understand. So, and I believe this is under, because what do they say here? Yeah, I mean it's a subsidiary of NovaPay. So NovaTech here, it's a sister company business under NovaPay. So let's go back here, and we can. This is the same thing that we can verify. So their principal, mailing address, and we have Cynthia on here as well as Eddy. But this one also has Ricardo Roy Sr. Now Ricardo is the CTO, so he's more on the tech side. Let me go back up here. Yeah, so he's the CTO. I think that stands for Chief Tech Officer. They have a video actually with him in it talking about more of the tech side and the managing of the trades and their traders and all that stuff. So maybe I'll include that link in the description. They have quite a few out there, guys, which I really appreciate. So that's pretty cool. So we can verify those guys all in there in this in the Florida Department of State search lookup. So that's how you can look those guys up. Now, I did mention earlier that they have their own MT5 broker. So this is what they're using. And I've seen this before, actually. One of my other projects, they have their own broker as well. And they've stated we want to have control over our broker. And when it comes to traders, because these guys have a few traders that they're using to trade and manage the PAMM service and get the profits that they are. But they like the control that owning their own broker gives them. So if something happens with one of the traders, or they need to manage something or adjust like access or something like that, then they can do that all on their end. They don't need to work through a third party. So what I did is I looked them up on WikiFX, and I don't want you to be turned off too much from this, because WikiFX, I know, actually is a paid from what I've heard, at least, is you pay them and you can boost your numbers a bit. So these guys probably don't even care about that. But I just wanted to show you that if you type in NovaTech in their search bar, then it will pull up their broker. They got a low score. I'm not too worried about that. Like I said, like this is like Forex Peace Army is kind of similar. Like they'll give bad reviews if brokers don't pay them. So I don't really care too much about this. And it looks like they're not regulated. However, they are registered in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So this is their company address there. I'm trying to get a little bit more information. I'll share a screenshot of like the actual license certificate or whatever it is that Cynthia, the CEO, shows from them. I think it's a little bit hard, and I don't know if you can actually even search businesses up in St. Vincent. But we can at least see here through WikiFX that they have they have this broker registered in this region, which also means that they need to comply to this region's rules and regulations and stuff as well. So I'm okay with that, and with them not being regulated, also because these guys have been running for 3 years or almost 3 years. So if things would have gone south, it probably would have gone south a year ago or 2 years ago. So these guys looks like they've got their ducks lined up. from what I can tell, at least with who's running it, and then the licensing in Florida, to make sure they have the right licensing and everything, good standing, make sure they're filing reports correctly for their broker, registered in St. Vincent. If there's more information that I get, I'll of course show you guys that. But from this side, at least, of me looking up the business, who they are, um, and what they say they are, confirming, that's what I see on my end. Things look pretty good. And again, they've been running for almost 3 years, so that's another check mark on my end. You guys can do your own due diligence. I did start, like I put in $550 to use their PAMM service, and we'll go over that here in the next bit. I just wanted to have this section kind of break down what we're looking at in regards to the business kind of background and things like that. I also wanted to show you guys another license lookup. So NovaTech also looks to be a subsidiary or a sister company of SmartBit, which is more around the ATM side that I mentioned. So to look these guys up, they have a FinCEN license. This is just so you guys can see, and for me as well, that these guys are doing their end, their diligence to get all the licensing, or have at least, right? They've been starting since, they've started since June of 2019. So if you type in FinCEN license lookup, it's this top one, MSB registrant search. And then if you type in the legal name here, and just type in SmartBit, and you search these guys here, we can find them right here. So the Florida, again, it's that same suite office, the same suite 110. And it looks like, yeah, so what is that? I think this is June of 2020. But if we go in here, we can see, so the MSB activity is, I believe, the money transmitter. Let's just look that up real quick. 409 is the code, right? Yeah, so money transmitter, which ties into that ATM business they have going on. So if we click that link there, we have a PDF here, and then this is just like the formal. Let me zoom in. The formal certificate, or whatever this is, license. You guys can check this out as well. Yeah, that's about it. So I just want to show you guys that last part there for the this is more, like I said, around the ATM business they have going on. Okay, so let's go get into a little bit more details, maybe a little bit more of the information you guys are wanting to hear. So from a license standpoint, I think these guys are good in my opinion. Things look pretty solid from what I've seen. Now, the question is this something that is worth it for you guys? So for me personally, something like this that has been around since June of 2019 gives some confidence in me to park a little bit higher money. Now, with this kind of program, I've seen where the results aren't as high as some of the other things that I've been doing. However, the stability and confidence in a long-term project and vision, in my opinion, this seems to be a little bit better. So NovaTech, they are, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned this, so they're a registered MetaTrader broker. So they have MT4. So I'm going over this, what we offer. And then they offer the PAMM. If you want to trade it on their MT5 account manually, you can. They've got cryptocurrency payment gateways, and then they have their affiliate program. So mainly going to be talking in this section about the PAMM, because most likely that's why you guys are here. Is their PAMM service worth it? And before I start showing you guys some of their results, I'll just say here that these guys do trade crypto and Forex. So it's pretty cool. It's not just Forex trading. They trade the cryptocurrencies as well. So whether one or the other is doing better, or they're both doing great, and they're trading in both instruments. Now, I'll include in the description of this video where they talk about with the CTO, that's Ricardo, kind of about more on the IT side and what trading looks like. These guys have several traders around the world. From what I understand, They have a bunch of different strategies that they're implementing. They have both manual and then more expert advisor strategies that they are using as well. And in the interview with Ricardo, they talk about using their arbitrage system in the crypto exchange on the crypto exchanges. So I don't know if that's still a thing, but it's pretty cool that they have quite a few strategies that they're working through. Now, we'll go over this here in a bit, but let me just switch over and we'll go over results. So kind of what are the expectations? And obviously I can't guarantee any of this stuff. I'm just showing you guys what I'm finding. In the end, if you guys want to get in, uh, then reach out to me and let me know. The team placement of this and me bringing people in is going to be pretty fun. I can be more strategic with this, but that's beside the point. Let me hop over to their back office and we'll discuss what are we kind of looking at for something like this this PAMM service, this project in regards of monthly returns. So it's pretty cool here in their back office. They give you a performance reports tab and a section to go through. We can see the ups and downs here through each this looks to be each week. They'll kind of give a little report here, and then they give a nice monthly report, and then each week this since we're in January, this number will either go up or down. These are not guaranteed amounts, guys, and obviously there's no fixed amounts either. So really, I'm just gauging how these guys have done in the past, but it's pretty cool. I can go down here. So we are January 2022, and the furthest that they have kept earnings on here is October of 2020, which is pretty cool. So we can see 15, 18.8, almost 19%. So if I were to gauge kind of, we can see here, it's just the same each week. This red bar here just means if it was lower than the previous month. So we can see February, we had 13.6, and then March was higher, so that's a green bar. And then these 2 months were lower, but this month was higher than the most previous month. So kind of that's how they're doing their color coding. So we can see here though, based off of previous months and weeks. So we're kind of looking, so we got 3.6, almost 3% for the week, 3.14, 2.86. So these guys are looking at usually mid, like 2.5% up to around, like even this week was 4%. So if I were to gauge, if you're not compounding, I'd probably say 10 to 20 or 10 to 15% maybe on average. Now, if you're compounding your earnings each week, then those earnings might be a little bit higher. This is just my opinion. So you might be up 20% for the month if you keep reinvesting your earnings each week. So obviously, if you reinvest 4% for next week, you're going to have a bigger balance that's going off of. So in general, your actual return for the month is going to increase because you're compounding. So when you the amount that you started with at the beginning of the month versus what you ended with at the end of the month, if you're compounding, that's going to help boost. But if we're talking strictly not reinvesting, maybe 10 to 15%, which honestly, for a project that is that has been running since 2019, mid 2019, this is something that I have been looking for. I want something that I can park a lot of money in and just not worry about the legitimacy of the company. These guys have already proven that over the past 2.5 years. They got their licenses lined up from what I can see. Now, let me talk about something that I wish they had. I understand though from their perspective. So we can see here the performance reports. You're probably wondering, well, what about on MT5 or MT4? How can I log trades or see trades? Because in my typical projects I've been in the past, I can log into MT4 and I can see kind of live trading earnings coming through, at least for my specific account. However, with these guys, they aren't letting you access their PAMM account service or like the actual numbers on MT5, because MT5 is what they use. Now from the before you guys get turned off, just hear me out. And I'm fine with this because there are other things that I'm seeing, which I'm like, you know what, I'm okay with this. So from what Cynthia, the CEO, has said, and her husband, Mr. Petion, They wanted to be as transparent as possible, but the thing is, these guys don't have all the funds in one account. They have it spread out, so in cryptocurrency, and then across different strategies. And if you guys hear about if you guys watch that interview with the CTO Ricardo, they talk about how they have their strategies kind of spread out and then funds spread out as well. So if we were to get access to every single account, it would be pretty messy. Now we also have to consider copy trading, because I know people will like this kind of stuff, and then they want to get the investor account so they can copy trade because they're fools. So these guys have also said, one, we have everyone's funds spread out across a bunch of different things, and two, we do want to keep our trading proprietary. So when I think of that, I'm like, yeah, I do know that people will try to copy trade and all that stuff. So they give us a nice report here where we can see each week earnings and payout is every Friday. So that's what this looks like every single Friday. And my upline has been with these guys for a year. I got to know someone else that has been using them since this past August, and they've said, yeah, it's always been on the weekend. There's been no issues withdrawing earnings and things like that. So from what I have heard, at least, and especially my upline being in this a year, pretty solid. So it's nice and it's comforting having somebody, actually using these guys that have been having good experiences overall. So that is a little bit of a ding. I wish we could see some of the live trading. However, I understand if they have the funds spread out a bunch across a bunch of different accounts, and especially considering the crypto exchanges, and well, it'd be pretty hard. And I guess a pro of this is I don't have to worry like drawdown and stuff. These guys have been running since mid 2019, so I think they know what they're doing at this point. And I do know people freak out, and I don't know exactly their full strategies that they're using. But if people like, especially me, I get a little addicted to seeing, okay, well, how are my accounts doing? How are my accounts doing? What's the profit like? Is it going up or down? So these guys it is a little refreshing to have it this way, where it's just like, hey, you know what? Here's your weekly results, spitting it out, and then you get your earnings paid out to your account on Friday, Saturday. Now, let's talk about the withdrawal process. And I don't think there's a specific spot in here. I'll just talk about it here. So the withdrawal process, actually, let me switch over and so you guys can see how much I've started with. And I'm planning to put in quite a bit more, just because this looks pretty solid and stable to me. So I want something I can grow here safely. So let me just show you guys how much I have invested currently, just to test the waters. Okay, so you guys can see here, currently I just put in 550. I'm planning to put in a lot more, but how the withdrawal process is, and I don't think these guys talk about it in their PDF. So they have their PAMM account. Okay, we'll talk about it here. So no experience needed. Yes, this is passive. So the company is managing. They have their hedge fund license. They got that in Florida under NovaTech Advisors, and then I believe we went over that earlier. Fully automated, right? It's hands off on our end. Here's the part that's pretty cool. So we can upgrade or cancel at any time. Now, in regards to canceling at any time, what does that look like? So I have 550 in here, and what I really like about this program is if I wanted to, I could withdraw this 550. Now, given they do say, and because they're paying out people above you, they say when you deposit, there's a 90-day window that if you withdraw from your trading account, then there is a 15% withdrawal fee, and that's because they're paying certain bonuses and commissions to people above you. So if you're doing a withdrawal just from your deposited trading account here, there's a 15% per that withdrawal request. So whatever that amount is, 15% fee, and that's if it's within 90 days. Once it's past 90 days, they've already recouped all of the payouts and stuff, you're good to go. And I can withdraw all of this if I want to. If I get to a 100K account and I'm past the 90 days, I can withdraw all of that. Now, they do say give us 7 to 14 days to process your request, because these guys are trading. You have to remember, they're trading with all of our funds combined and have it spread out. So they need to make sure the trades are closed. and everything looks good before they process your request. But 7 to 14 days to be able to process a full withdrawal, that's pretty good. I do like that aspect, and that shows me that these guys aren't just funneling money around. Typically what you would see is like a lock period or a hold period in other projects. Like, hey, you can only withdraw X amount. So I really think this is a really good sign for me, that I can cancel anytime. I can withdraw my full trading account given the fees and depending when I want to withdraw. Now, when you get earnings each week, those earnings, there is no withdrawal fee of 15%. It's just your initial deposited amounts. And that goes for if you withdraw one time here, withdraw the next time next week. All of those will have a 90-day period per when you deposit. But when you get earnings each week, those will not have any kind of that 15% fee, except for they use coin payment to withdraw. So coin payment does have a little bit of a withdrawal fee. They offer Litecoin, which is, I think the fee is 0.006 Litecoin. So that's way cheap, guys. So aside from that, looks really, really good, guys. 10 to 15%, and possibly, in my opinion, if you're reinvesting and compounding, you might be able to get up to 20% when you started at the beginning of the month versus end of the month, your account balance there. So pretty cool. So let's hop back over to the PDF. And let's see, let's just go down here. So the live trading experience, we've kind of talked about that, and you guys can watch that video with the CTO. We can track the progress here, but like I said, this is pretty much as we can see on the earnings. So you guys will have to make a decision there, and if that's something that you like or not. And we've already talked about some of this stuff. So no withdrawal limits. There's no earning caps. So you can, like, if I put in $1 million, I can keep earning from that. It's pretty cool. We're dealing with a $5 trillion market here in the Forex, so I don't think that's going to impact too much. You get access to your capital, except if it's within 90 days. There is that 15% withdrawal fee, and no expiration date. So let me go over their packages here, because this is really cool. Now I'm going to note here really quick, there's a $25 monthly fee. That's it though, okay? So for the monthly subscription, it's a $25 fee. They've said this is just to help pay for their site servers and everything like that. Depending on how much you end up depositing, you can waive that $25 fee, but majority, I think, are going to be paying a $25 fee, which honestly, guys, unless you have a really, really small account, like if you start with $100, and you pay $25 for the month, and you earn 10% for the month off 100, you're actually going to be paying $15 if you are using your earnings off your 100 for the month to pay your monthly fee. So you have to take that into consideration. But this is something, guys, in my opinion, where I can park money over time and get it a little bit bigger and have more peace of mind that these guys know what they're doing. Been around almost 3 years. Licenses looks good. The CEO and all of them put out tons of YouTube videos, so they're not hiding in the shadows or anything like that. So they have the builder, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, depending on how much you're depositing. So I have 550 in that I started with. I'm considered in the bronze package, and I just pay $25 a month. Now, if I get up to platinum, it just depends on how much you're depositing, and I can tap up my account whenever I want. So if I want to put in another 5K, I would end up in the gold package, still paying $25 a month, but obviously I'm earning more based off of the percentage and my actual account size. So it's not too friendly for those just wanting to start with $100. But if you plan to pay the $25 monthly fee outside, like you're not taking your monthly earnings to pay for your $25 fee, then your account is still growing. Obviously, you guys need money to make money, so these are the kind of expectations. That's why I wanted to go over how much on average what they're doing each month, so you guys can gauge that. Now they do outside of this. So once you start putting in 25K or more, they have the VIP package. That's all the benefits included already. Then you do get a 1% cashback reward. And now if it's 25K or more, you no longer have to pay that $25 a month. But honestly, if you're making, well, if you have 25K in there minimum, like if it does 10% for the month, then you're doing 2.5K around there. So that $25 fee doesn't matter too much. And then if you get over to 100K plus, you have the President's Club. You get 2.5% cash back rewards, $1,000 gift card bonus, and that's really just them putting it in your earnings amount, and then also no monthly fees. So that's kind of what the packages look like.